Willie, I believe you had 182 or 186 yards at halftime as you came into the dressing room. Did you realize that, and was it on your mind as you went out to play the second half?
Well, I was told that I had 180 something yards or something like that, but when I went back out in the second half, I didn't try to have it on my mind. I just figured that if I just ran the ball as I had done today and as I've done in the past, with what yards was there to be gotten would be gotten, you know, and if I got enough carries, I would exceed the past mark, you know, and I was all my teammates was behind me, and they did a good job of selecting plays for me, you know, and I was fortunate enough to go on to.
Did anybody at halftime tell you what the record was, or did you know it?
Yes, I was told by several people what it was, you know.
At halftime.
And I knew that I was about 60 yards or something away from the mark.
I meant the National Football League record.
Right.
You know that.
Yeah. And I knew that I was about 60 yards away from the mark, and I just tried to pretend in my mind that I was just starting all over again. And I have been able to exceed 60 yards on some of my good days.
Willie, when the coach brought you out with 2 yards short of the record and the crowd chanted, "We want Willie," did this inspire you at all?
Well, all I could hear was the roar of the crowd. I didn't know if they were applauding because I had exceeded the mark or what. But once I got to the sideline, Coach Protho told me that I was about 2 yards away from the mark, and that he was just going to take me out and let me rest a few minutes and then go back in.
Willie, when you topped the Ram mark and then you lost a couple of yards, something passed your mind that maybe you'll unwind the record and go back on it?
Well, doing all the excitement, I don't even remember when I passed the Ram record. They told me that I needed, I think at that time, about 30 yards. But I didn't know if it was I didn't ask anyone if it was to get to the Ram record or to get to the NFL record. You know?
You had the Ram record at that time.
Yeah.
You lost 2 and you still had it.
Right.
That's what I was asking about right there.
Right. But it would have been very disappointing to lose yards, you know, and then drop under the record.
Any of your family here today?
No, the only part of my family that comes out here is my wife and my kids, you know, and they're back in Houston at the time. I had a death in my family before the San Francisco game. My father died, and my wife is handling a lot of things back there, you know, and kind of looking out for my mother and everything.
This young fellow looks like he might want to be adopted.
Right, she's in Houston. Pardon?
His young fellow looks like he might just like to go home with you.
Oh, yeah.
Where'd you go to high school, Willie?
I went to high school in Carver in Lockhart, Texas.
Carver?
George Washington Carver.
And what was the town in Texas?
Lockhart, Lockhart.
Lockhart, Texas. When you were going to Carver, did you ever think you'd have days like this in the National Football League?
Well, I had dreamed of having days like this, but at that time it was such a far-fetched idea, you know. It was just a dream, you know. I have a little sinus condition. I'm getting kind of cool right now, so I'm gonna have to get out of these clothes.
Marvelous.
Congratulations. Before you go, could you just put 2 mics?
Can they get Willie now?
For what?
For this?
What we're doing? This is gonna be it. We're gonna do this.
You repeated a lot of those questions too.
Well, that was great. So,
Tremendous job today in opening the holes and enabled Willie Ellison to break all the rushing records in professional football. Can you tell us the blocking line's attitude as they found they were nearing that record?
Well, we just felt we had to have a super effort the remainder of the game in order to break this record. They told us Willie needed 30 or 40 yards, and they say, well, let's try and get it. And everybody just put their heads together and say, let's go. Let's give him an opportunity to break the record. So that's what we did. We went out and we hit, we sustained our blocks, and Willie did the rest.
Was this the best effort on behalf of the offensive line this year?
Well, really, I feel we did more running today than we normally do. We felt all year that if we gave Willie the opportunity, he would get the yardage for us. And he gave him the ball enough times today, and he showed us that he could do this if we gave him the hole.
Okay, what is your overall feeling on the offense? What do you think of Gabe's signal calling today, etc.?
Well, I felt Gabe called a great game today. Matter of fact, I really feel he called one of the best games he's called all year. He mixed his plays well. They never knew what he was going to do, except for one play. When we ran the reverse, they were looking for it the whole game, and when we got up to the line, we had a reverse on, and they had called reverse, and they were sitting there waiting for the play. But other than that, I felt they never knew what we were going to do from time to time.
With the team running 39 times a day, did that wear you guys out?
No, it didn't. I felt great after the game. You know, anytime you have a big win like that, and you have one of your running backs getting 200 and some yards, you have to feel good. You can't even think about being tired.
Gabe, what went through your mind as you knew that he was nearing the record? What did you try to do to help him?
Well, the only thing I did was try to pick plays in which Willie could gain yards and not lose yardage on, and also the kind of plays that our offensive linemen could block straight ahead and use their own strength against the New Orleans linemen. And then, too, I've taken consideration that with Larry Smith back there, who's a fine blocker, I tried to use Larry to block for Willie, too. And then when you have a fine runner like Willie, give him the ball, he's going to get some yardage anyway. Well, whenever you have a runner that gains, 246, 47 yards like Willie does, evidently it makes my job look like I did a pretty good job.
Well, it was a deep kick, and actually I had mixed emotions about bringing that one out. It was about 5 yards, and the Reds took off, and we sort of hit about the same time. As soon as they made their blocks, I found the hole and ran right through them. Now, I know that on the way down, Ken Geddes, he got in front, and he made that final block for me that sprung me.
How many kickoffs have you now run back to touchdowns?
Yeah, it's either 5 or 6. I'm not sure. I got to check my stats on that.
What was your, this was 105. What was your previous longest?
104. Of course, that was in 67.
How many did you have against us?
Well, that was the one, 104.
Gabe completed 10 for 18. Hagen completed. That's a punt return yardage. That's 40 yards.